This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Furina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible.
Pues a ver, le pregunto al señor Vicenzo. Usted, señor, ¿sabe si has visto una señora por aquí? Bueno, señorita, cabello azul, brillante. Amiga, por favor, detente. Y tú, ¿verdad? Es bien erístico, que hace poco pasó su primera inundación. Amiga, por favor, regrésate, amiga. Por favor, amiga. ¿Dónde anuncio mis streams? Buen punto. ¿Dónde los anuncio tú? Pues en... nada más en Instagram. De vez en cuando en Threads. En TikTok. En YouTube y aquí. Sí, no anuncio en otro lado. En Coffee tal vez también. Ah, sí, mira, ahí está Furina.
That's Furina, right over there. She really is here all on her own.
No hables muy alto.
Should I just give up? This is all meaningless. What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead.
Algún día haré streams yo también. Very nice. Yo inicié justo mientras estaba estudiando, ¿eh? Me ayudaba mucho a desestresarme.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Give up, Furina. There's no point in holding out.
Ay, pobre mujer.
I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over?
Furina.
Who's that?
Don't worry, Furina, it's just us.
So it is you, blonde traveler.
Mujer, ¿por qué tratas de mantener postura?
That mob of my ignorant subjects. Come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
Ay, mujer, ¿cómo? Ay, Dios. Está cañona la pobre de Furina. Y me estreso. Digo que para perder tiempo lo haría. Mi God, yo Sora. Hello, ¿qué tal? Muchas gracias por la raid. De repente la gente se está poniendo de acuerdo y aquí me está sorprendiendo de todo. ¿Qué tal, yo Sora? Hello, ¿qué tal todo el mundo?
Furina, you were crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
What do you mean, tear stains? Oh, I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. I'm still trying to process it.
Creo que sí es algo como lo que estaba comentando. Como obviamente todo el mundo está cuestionando sus capacidades de arconte, quiere responsabilizarse ella misma y por eso no quiere compartir la información que está investigando y que ha encontrado, para así, a ver si así al final sí le tienen ese adoración de arconte como debe ser. Y por eso se está tratando de aguantar todos sus sentimientos. Pobre mujer. La gente se puso de acuerdo para que te caiga de todo hoy. Gracias, Sora, gracias.
Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were? Disturbing my enjoyment of the arts. They even dare to doubt their Archon. I must teach them a lesson. I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces once they realize that I'm nowhere to be found. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marish Dose Phantom are freaking out right next to them too.
Furina, no lo ocultes, claramente estás triste.
Of course not.
Bueno, sí tienes razón. O sea, bueno, no sé, todavía no sabemos a detalle lo de Furina. Pero de todos modos, Navia ya había comentado de que de todos los personajes humanos que hay en este mundo, Navia es la que ha sufrido de lo peor.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
¿Cómo que hacia ella?
Furina, those people seem to be after you.
They are... They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person, aren't they?
No, no creo.
That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
Furina just ran off. Quick, we have to catch up with her.
Pero qué persecución tan más dramática. Eso ni siquiera fue una corrida, pero bueno. Ok. Mínimo pongan música de fondo. Así muy no sé, dramático.
Hey, Furina!
No te me vas a escapar.
There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted.
Es la
Lead the
trampa.
way.
Es la trampa. Y la trampa. Y la trampa que le tiene tendida.
Paimon's exhausted.
I'm so tired. I totally thought they had caught me. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
Un poco más bajito, este sitio no está insonorizado.
You're right.
Yep, that's a good girl.
What's happening? The ground's shaking. Is it an earthquake?
A lo mejor es otra catástrofe.
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Novelette's made some emergency plans, so the evacuation should go a lot smoother this time.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But the people of Poisson, they've already...
Habrá llegado Furina ya al límite. Parece que ahora se comporta de una manera más natural. Furina se relaja y charlan un rato.
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years.
What?
I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways too to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled.
Pero aún así no te has rendido.
Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally be free.
Pero también significaría que no hay ninguna esperanza.
Indeed. I've thought about giving up so many times, especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives. But just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end. Well, that's enough for now. I got
Ay,
the
Dios mío, en
impulse to
serio.
play the
Su
stricken
bipolaridad
maiden,
está
but
loquísimo.
honestly, considering my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all. Don't take any of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial prophecy?
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were actually being honest just now.
Bien esquizofrénica, ya sé. No tenemos mucho tiempo, tengo que preguntarle algo más o no habríamos avanzado nada. Furina, no hace falta que cargues tú sola con todo esto. Aunque nadie sepa la verdad, tu pueblo estará dispuesto a compartir la carga que lleva. Si tu pueblo supiera la verdad, querrían compartir la carga contigo.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
De acuerdo, no la compartas, pero al menos cuéntame lo que sucede. Cuéntamelo, ser tu
A
testigo.
witness. Yes, I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you?
O sea, sí, pero ¿se te olvida que aquí tenemos a Paimon? ¿Ella cumple con las mismas características o...? X.
If that's the case...
No hay tiempo, dilo ya, Furina. Qué conveniente. ¡Ay, no te pases! ¿Qué? Y no nos dijo, ya nos iba a decir, ¡no te pases! ¿Qué onda?
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance.
Los agarran.
Now,
Imagino.
without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
What? Bueno, eso ya lo sabíamos.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Fosalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself. Does it not strike you as even the least bit absurd to bring the very concept of justice to trial?
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
Obviamente, ella no le gusta la idea de pelear.
You would draw your blade against a god?
¡Chish!
I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it. She just surrendered.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Furina, what is the meaning of this?
Shh. It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of
La
surrender.
verdad, quieras o no, es una muy buena... La verdad es que hicieron muy bien ahorita la situación de Fontaine. O sea, es como... O sea, un arconte, todo el mundo la adora, podríamos decir así. ¿Saben a qué me recuerda Furina? A María Antonieta.
Looking for excuses
Que
again,
de todos modos desde el inicio los franceses no la adoraban, ¿ok? Pero toda la gente de la nobleza sí la adoraba por todas las cosas que hacía por ellos, ¿no? Y todo lo que, todas las fiestotas y todo lo que hacía. Y al final obviamente todo el mundo se puso en contra de ella, hasta un punto en que las casaron y luego la enjuiciaron y obviamente... Entonces me inspira mucho que Furina es como una representación, podríamos decirlo así, de Tevat a María Antonieta.
I will admit
Me recuerda a
that
Agua de
I've been
Konosuba, ¿no?
running away for a long time. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. It is my duty to stand trial for my crimes. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I, too, am exceedingly disappointed in myself.
Diablos.
But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage and resolve. I, Furina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice.
Que todavía tenga la misma voz que Darkness y en el juego ya este Megumi no ayuda mucho que digamos. Ya.
This time, I will protect you. Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes.
Así empieza Death Note.
Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon, Focalor, will now begin.
Sigue alumbrándose ahí el indicativo de que todavía no he visitado y todavía no he guardado la fotito de la ópera ahí.
Oh, now we're making history.
En nivel así como que ay, otra vez esta obra. Este teatrito de veras.
Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes?
Mujer tiene siglos tratando de manejar todo a su
Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
All right, then. Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Yo seré tu rival, no te pases.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent.
Furina estuvo a punto de contarnos su secreto, pero al final ocurrió esto. No pasa nada, mientras gane el juicio seguiré teniendo la oportunidad de que nos lo explique todo. Mientras ganes. ¿Y si pierdes qué?
Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins. Just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Furina acaba de decir un discurso sobre la verdadera justicia y ahora busca un río.
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
El nombre canon de la prota es Lumin, que empieza con L.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame.
Claro, o sea que nada más fueron unos pocos y de ahí otros sí se dejaron llevar.
Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself.
Se sigue intentando conseguir a Navia, se sigue intentando.
So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean, the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontainian history.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Aranias. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human.
Huh.
My thanks, Furina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
No me imagino cómo lo hicieron, sinceramente.
You're welcome.
¿Ah?
Of course,
No
this
sabía que era
performance
parte
was
de...
only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box.
That's right.
Oopsie,
It wasn't
perdón.
a sign of another disaster to come.
Lo siento, Furina. Te
Then,
engañé.
I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight. Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Diablos.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
Thank you.
As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
Te equivocas.
Oh?
Mi misión era hacer un último intento. Queríamos que nos contaras tu secreto antes de llegar al tribunal.
Is that so? Then I suppose I must have missed my final chance. It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
Efectivamente, ahora lo único que podemos hacer es juzgar al arconte Hidro. Igualito a Kira. Aún así, no puedo dejar de pensar en ello. ¿Qué iba a contarme Furina antes de que llegáramos al tribunal?
Madam Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey, Charlotte!
Estos... Iniciamos, ¿eh? ¡Hola, Charlotte!
Oh, let Paimon see. Isn't this the exclusive interview that she did with us before? So she's already finished it, huh?
Son expertos, Pops. Expertos.
Wait,
Okay.
then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine.
Huh.
So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument.
Nos viene muy bien.
Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duel you took part in at the Opera House. That's one for the history books, all right.
La defensa de Lainey.
I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the bottom of the case I'd been following all this time. I guess you could also see this as a happy coincidence. This is the first time Monsieur Nervilette had a difference of opinion with the oratories. Even the Hydro Archon can't figure it out.
La primera vez, no había ocurrido una segunda vez.
A Fatui Harbinger. She's an extraordinary
El papá de
person.
Navia, ¿no?
Her instinct must mean something. The fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed in a single day. That I didn't witness that scene personally will always be a source of professional regret, I think. According to Monsieur Nervilette, both Child and that whale should have been in the primordial sea at that time. I nearly lost my awesome friend Navia. To be honest, that still gives me shivers.
La caída al mar de Navia.
The words of someone as extraordinary as a witch can probably only be truly understood when something surreal happens to you.
Ok.